What up guys, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome. Very often people ask me, who's the strongest Mishima? Who's the weakest Mishima? And this is kind of a subjective question, but there are some things you can objectively say in this game. It's not perfectly balanced, I'd say. So I thought I could answer this today. And this is of course my opinion and no one else's, so feel free to disagree. But I'm gonna detail now how I rank the Mishimas in Tekken 7. At S tier, and pretty much the strongest character in the game, I would say, is Devil Jin. There is literally nothing this character cannot do. Like, he has an answer for everything. And he can go with any type of playstyle. Do you want to play defensive? He can do that. Do you want to play with a lot of pressure? He can do that. He excels at everything. So defense and attack he does really well. His hell sweep is broken, I'd say. It's got better range and tracking than any other hell sweep, and it launches. It does low damage in itself, but you can get decent damage, and if there's a wall around, it's just insane. Upward 4 is an insane mid, gives a guaranteed back 4. This is also extremely powerful. It's so strong, and back 4 on its own is a rather quick mid, which does a chunk of damage, launches on counter it, it's got good range, it's safe, it hits on the ground very reliably, insane. And he's got high damage, he has a great degree of match control due to his pokes, like downward 1-2. He can lock down people who try to step him with back forward 2-1. And just his huge arsenal of awesome stuff. He's got great panic moves. Up 4, for example, is just amazing. Even in high level Tekken, it can frighten people. And he's got the throw game. Devil Jin is amazing. And I would say he has no weaknesses. He even has decent crushing. I mean, his down back 2, great low poke. He has no weaknesses. So I would put Devil Jin at the top. And after that, I would put Jin Kazama at A. Like Devil Jin, extremely all-round, can be played defensively, he can be extremely offensive, he's got great poking, great pressure, amazing strings. Defense, he has a lot of stances that, like back 1, that will evade a lot. He has up forward 2, which is a great evasive move. Very, very all-round. He now has a launching electric wind hook fist, which makes him more of a Mishima than ever before. A launching electric wind hook fist alone just really has him climb the ranks. His damage is very high. Jin has always, in previous game, had the problem where his combos aren't very versatile and he doesn't do a lot of damage in his combos. Complete opposite in Tekken 7. Very versatile and does a shitload of damage. Very strong in this game. Strong 50-50. Hell sweep, forward 3, CD1. It's scary to duck him. It's scary not to duck him. The bound on hell sweep, icing on the cake, really makes him stronger. He has a parry which has like unlimited potential. Some moves you can launch with can, some moves 2-4. That of course wall splats. His punishment is great. His rage drive is also really good. Sets up a nice mix-up and great pressure. As a downside, I would say he has bad range on some key moves. For example, forward 3, which is a mid-launcher. It's slightly slower than Kazuya's, but it also has much worse range. And his punishment, when you want to punish a get up 4, his 1+2 will whiff. 1+2 in general has got quite bad range for a 12-frame punish. 2-4, which is a fantastic 10-frame punish, also has kind of crap range, and this is something we see on other moves as well. Forward 4 does deserve a mention. Could it be one of the best counter hit mids in the game? Sure is. That move has got great range. So overall, Jin is extremely strong. He just doesn't have those over-the-top moves like Devil Jin, and Devil Jin's punishment is much more complete. So after Jin, when it comes to Mishimas, I would put Heihachi at A. He's got great poking and pressure. Needless to say, like one back 2 is probably one of the best strings in the game. It's so powerful. But he has multiple, and many super useful strings, and of course his mids. Some of the best mid arsenals in the game. Forward 3, forward 4-2, up forward 3-4. Forward 4 on crouch gives a guaranteed down forward 1-2. Down forward 1-2 in itself is also like one of the best pokes in the game, in my opinion. He's got great launchers, although no easy mode 15 frame launcher, which hurts him a lot. But he's got great counter hit tools, mids. He's got high damage. His rage drive ender is insane. If you are in rage and launch someone, you get the rage damage, but also post bound you'll do his rage into the stomp. That does a lot of damage and gives him a huge comeback factor. And he has a high degree of control, which is what makes him a good tournament character. One back 2, forward 4, down forward 1, down forward 1 on its own. Up forward 3-4. He has a lot of tools to keep the opponent in check, Oh, someone's trying to step me. Back 4. Safe mid homing move that's very fast. So he can control matches very well. But of course, where he runs into trouble is the lack of a solid low poke that's not launch punishable. All of Heihachi's lows are very punishable. When people don't duck you and you get desperate, you can start throwing out down back 2 to get them to duck. It's plus 6 on hit and it does a chunk of damage, but it is launch punishable. So that's kind of Heihachi's big problem. And he's weak while standing punish. If you block a snake edge with Heihachi, you have to crouch cancel electric. And that can be hard to do. But of course, if a low is minus 16 or 17, you won't be able to launch it. All he gets is while standing 1 into Death Fist, which that itself can be hard to do. But so weak while standing punish, and this hurts Heihachi a lot with the lack of a low poke. But a very reliable character due to his high degree of match control. And at the last place, at B, I'm gonna put my main character, Kazuya. And you can see this as me trying to downplay the character I love or the character I play the most. But objectively, objectively, it is a struggle to play Kazuya. So what's he best at? What does he do well? He has the best electric in the game. It's 1 frame faster than the other Mishimas if you do it perfectly. And 1 frame faster can mean a lot, and especially as you take into consideration that he has multiple inputs on the electric, more than the other Mishimas, making it the easiest electric to do consistently. So he has the best electric. His 50-50 is very strong. 4-4-3 launches, safe mid. He has the Hell Sweep. Down back 4 is a pretty good 50-50 option. Yeah, he has the stuff when it comes to 50-50. His punishment is the best out of the Mishimas, although Devil Jin comes very close due to Devil Jin having better range on back 1-2. And Devil Jin in this game of course got while standing 1-4, which is also 13 frames like Kazuya's twin pistons, and it does huge damage and wall splat. But Kazuya of course gets a full launch with his twin pistons. Shit range though, unfortunately. But he has the best punishment, I would say, out of the Mishimas. He's got insane damage if you know what to do and if you have the execution. Best damage, I would say, out of the Mishimas. But this is very hard to do. His rage drive deserves a mention because it's the best rage drive out of the Mishimas. It's really, really good, and without it, Kazuya would be, I mean, quite bad, I would say. It really saves him a bit, the rage drive. So what does he do bad? He has a low degree of match control. He's very linear. People can step him very effectively, and when you counter this by doing homing moves, you often leave yourself once again open for counterattack. Down for 2, -12, his wild standing 2, which launches, and his homing is launch punishable. He has the homing back 4, of course, but that's high, but it's still a good addition to the character. So his risky offense, he has no good mids to try and lock down the opponent. His down forward 1 is 15 frames, down forward 4 is really bad on block, it's very minus, it's clunky and bad. He has no good strings to go in with, everything can be ducked and punished. I like down forward 3 too, but it's kind of slow on startup and it's minus 12. He has no panic buttons. If someone's pressuring you, you really don't have this wonderful button to push, you know, to get out of whatever is going on, you know, the pressure that's someone's throwing at you. All Kazuya can do is use fundamentals here. Oh, someone's pressuring you. You need to know the strings he's using, the offense he's using, and step at the right time or duck and punish. So no easy mode, get away from me. But I should mention down for 2. Oh, sorry. Down for 2 is an amazing 14 frame mid move that's homing, counter at launch. It is minus 12, but it is the closest I think Kazuya gets to a get off me move. But there's no crushing involved whatsoever. So yeah, but it should be mentioned because it's a great move. But I hope I've explained now why the Mishimas are like, how they work, you know, and what advantages and disadvantages they have individually, and maybe why you see Devil Jin a lot in tournaments, and to some extent Heihachi, but why you will probably never see Kazuya win a tournament, for example. Because in tournaments, basically we've seen in most fighting games, and this does go for most fighting games, that to do well in tournaments, you're going to need offense rather than defense. Defense heavy characters have a tendency to not do as well as those with great poking. Because you want to be able to control the match. You don't want the opponent to have a lot of, you know, time poking at you. You want to be the one doing the poking. So I hope that made sense. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, take care everyone.